All right, guys, welcome to another craft here at the library. So today we are going to be making some flying paper crafts. So let's go take a look at how it's done.
All right, so for this first flying paper craft, what we're going to need is we're going to need our 3x5 card, our little note card. We're going to need a pair of scissors and we're going to need some glue. Okay, what we're going to start by doing is, if you notice on the bottom of your 3x5 card, there's this little tiny line that you couldn't really fit anything on writing wise. We're just going to go ahead and cut right along this bottom blue line, cut that section off. Okay, so now we have a little bit less than 3 inches on our card. Then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to go ahead and cut off these 6 sections. And this is going to be what we're going to use to make our little flying paper craft. Now, don't throw this section away. We're not done with it yet, but set it aside for now. And then we're going to come to our section that has these 6 segments. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to count 1, 2 over, and then we're going to cut along this line. But don't cut all the way across your paper. Just go until you've got just a little bit left, about as thick as your finger, between the edge of the cut and the edge of the paper. Don't cut this section. Okay? So we've cut that. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it around so that cut's facing that way. And we're going to do the same thing on this side, going the opposite way. Again, don't cut all the way through your paper. Just cut until you've got about a finger's width left. So then you should have this nice little 3-fold paper. Okay? Now, what we're going to do for this is we're going to set this aside for 1 minute. And we're going to come back to this piece that I told you not to throw away. And we're going to cut off 1 strip. And I'm actually going to do this pink line. I'm going to cut right along this pink line here. Okay. And then you're going to take this and you're going to just fold it like an accordion. So, back and forth, just like an accordion. Like this. Okay, and then I've got a little bit extra I'm just gonna trim off. Okay, so now we have our nice little paper accordion. Okay, so now we're going to go back to this piece. And we're going to take this piece and we're going to just gently pull it into this shape. So it should look like a little gateway. And then we're going to take these 2 ends, we're going to bring them together like this. And now what you're going to go ahead and do is you're actually going to take your accordion and you're going to glue it onto these 2 ends. So we're going to go ahead and glue these 2 ends to our accordion. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, put a little dab on my accordion here. And you don't need a lot, just a little dot. I'm going to glue it right there. And you don't want to do it at the perfect end. You want to do it just a little bit up. So you see I've got my accordion is just a little bit above the end of my paper. Hold it there until it sticks. Make sure it's glued nice and tight. We don't want this thing coming apart. Okay, there we go. Now we've got our accordion. Now remember, we want to make this nice gateway shape, and then we're going to go ahead and glue our accordion here to this side of our gateway. So we're going to go ahead and put our little dab of glue right there on the end of the accordion. Okay, there's our glue. Then we're going to go ahead and make our gateway shape and press it down on. Squeeze it tight. Make sure the glue sticks. Okay. And now the last one we want to do is we have this little tiny bit that we've left over down here. We're going to go ahead and glue those together. So I'm just going to kind of put a little dab of glue right in there. And going to pinch that together. Make sure that holds nice and tight. There we go. All together. Okay, so now we've got this paper triangle with our accordion on our bottom and our two edges. We're going to come up and we're going to look at these edges. And what you want to do is you're going to trim these edges just slightly. So what you want to do is you want to go from the center line right here off towards the side. So I'm going to cut it, and you want to do just a gentle curve, almost like you're cutting off the corner, but you want to curve it just slightly. Let me show you that again going this way. So I'm going to just gently curve it in towards the center. So you have this nice propeller shape. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Nice gentle curve. Oop. Come and do the same thing over here. Nice gentle curve. And we have our completed helicopter. Let's go take it for a spin.
All right, guys, so here I am at the top of the ladder, and I've got our little helicopter that we just made, plus one that I made earlier. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop these. It's gonna be more fun if you can get to a high location, so like the top of the stairs or something, or maybe you've got a chair you can stand on. Just be careful if you're standing on something tall. We don't want you to fall. So here we go. Whee! All right, so that was pretty fun. Let's head back in to start on our second paper flying craft.
All right, so for our second flying paper object, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna start with our full sheet of paper, just like this. And this one's really simple, because all you have to do is you're simply gonna take your paper and you're gonna fold about a third of the way over. Give that a nice, good, solid crease. Okay. Then you're going to fold that section that you just folded. So we've got our third of our paper. We're going to go ahead and fold that section in half. Okay. And then we're going to fold it in half again. So we've got this nice solid bar of paper right up here and this flappy section here at the end. Give that a good solid crease, and then finally just fold it over once. This helps hold it together. Okay, give that a good solid crease, and I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to crease it down. Do that again. Using the ruler helps me to be able to get that crease nice and solid. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take this paper and I'm going to bring it to the edge of the table like I did. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run it over the edge of the table. So I'm going to pinch both ends and I'm going to just run it as tightly as I can back and forth across the edge of the table. Okay. And that gives it, if you notice, it's starting to curl. Okay, so now that my paper is nice and curled, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it around, wrap it around. I'm going to tuck this into this spot right here. Get it nice and tight. So I have this nice O. And then to hold it together, because this won't want to hold together by itself, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a little piece of tape here. I'm just going to put it right there. Okay, and then I'm also going to put a little piece, and I mean a little piece, just like a little tiny piece on the back right here. And this is our second flying paper craft. And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to go out and we're going to throw it like a football. Let's go see how it works.
All right, so we've made our second one of our flying paper crafts. And this one, the way you're going to throw it is kind of like you would throw a football. So you're going to put your finger on the back, just kind of hold it in your hand, cup it like that in your hand, and you're just going to throw it as straight as you can. If you throw it too far up, it will go upward, so we're just going to throw it as straight as we can. And here we go. All right, so that is our second one, and try to practice throwing this one. The more you practice it, the better throws you'll get. All right, let's head on back and do our third one.
All right, so this last one that I'm going to show you is the trickiest of the three, and that's because it's a paper airplane, and paper airplanes, if you don't fold them right, well, they don't fly. So what I'm going to recommend is you're going to want to get yourself a ruler, because it's really going to help us with some of our folding for this. And then I really recommend that you use the darkest sheet of paper for this, because we're going to make a paper bat, okay? Now, the other important thing to remember when folding a paper airplane is you want good, solid creases, and you want really precise folding. If it's not perfectly precise, it's okay, but you want to get it as precise as you can. So we're going to start with our piece of paper here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold it in half, hamburger style. And you want the edge to line up as best as you can. And then for the to get a good solid crease, just run your fingernail along that fold. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and fold that hamburger style, and then you're going to go ahead and unfold it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this half, we're going to fold it into the center, into that line we just made. Give it a good solid crease. And do the same thing on this side, folding it into the center. Get it as close as you can. Give it a good solid crease. Okay, so now if you open this up all the way, you've got your 4 sections to your paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna leave it closed like that. And this is where your ruler is gonna come in handy. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take your ruler, and you're gonna line it up with the center, so with this corner here. And then you're gonna line it up with this corner. So your ruler is going to run from this top middle, right here, down along to this bottom corner. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this triangle, and we're just gonna kinda fold that up on top of the ruler, and then take our ruler away, crease that down nice and solidly. Okay, and now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So again, you take your ruler, put it at this top corner, bring it to this corner, and now we're gonna fold our paper up on top of the ruler, take the ruler away, give that a good solid crease. So now your paper should look like this, okay? Now, next part we're gonna do is a lot easier. We're simply gonna bring this corner down to the middle so that it forms a nice triangle here. So we've got a triangle, here's the middle line right down here. So we've got our nice triangle. And we're gonna do the same thing to this corner. Okay, bring it right down there, fold it nice and sharp, crease it really good. Again, use your fingernails to help you crease those. That's what our paper airplane looks like so far. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and turn this over. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're going to take this, and we're gonna fold this down and bring the tip of this all the way to the bottom. And we want it to be as lined up with that center line. You should be able to see your center line running down the paper. We're gonna bring our tip right down, fold it right in like that, give this a good solid crease. There we go. Okay. Now, this is another tricky part, but you guys can do it. What you do is you take this corner right here, and you're gonna bring it to this point right here. And this is another point where bringing your ruler in can really help you. If you take your ruler and you put it right here on this little corner of this triangle, you place it right there, and then you line it up so it lines up with our center line. So we're gonna have our ruler running from our center line to this corner right here. All right, like that. And then what we're gonna do is we simply bring this down here to, come here, to there, like that. And the reason for the ruler is it's going to keep our paper from bending in some weird ways. Now we're going to do it again over here. So we're going to take it, replace our ruler on the middle mark, place it on this triangle. Okay. And we fold this down, like right, come on, right there like that. Give that a good solid crease. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this triangle up. So it's going to just fold it up along this line. So the line already exists, we just have to fold it. So it's along the top of that triangle, top of this triangle, just fold her up and flip her over. Okay, we're almost done. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this triangle that's poking up, and you should have a nice little line at the tip here. We simply fold our triangle down over that tip. Okay? So now we've got this, and your paper should have a nice crease right down the middle. You're going to simply fold your paper in half. Okay? And here we have this. And what we're going to do with this is, if we look, the only thing missing from this is our wings. So you simply take it, and I like to fold it about like that to fold our wings down. Okay. Then we're also going to fold on this side. Make sure your wings are as even as you can get them. There we go. All right, and there we have our bat. Now, there's an important thing before we go on and throw this. With a paper airplane, a lot of the times when you first fold down your wings, your paper airplane will look like this from the back. If you have it facing a downward V like this, it's not going to fly. What you want to do is you want to take it, pinch the back together like that, and then fold those up slightly. And that way you have this nice V shape. What this does for us is it's going to be able to help our plane to glide. So you want to make sure you have this nice V shape. Okay? So, with that said, let's go give it a try.
All right, so we have our little paper airplane, our little paper bat, and we're gonna go ahead and give it a toss. Remember what I said, you want your wings up at a V like this. If they're down, it's not gonna fly very well. So you wanna make sure your wings are up at a nice V. Pinch it on up at the front. Here we go. All right, that flew super well. So, hope you guys enjoyed these paper crafts. Maybe you'll want to try your hands at making some other paper airplanes. We'll see you next time. Bye.